Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com. What is going on? It's your boy, Chief, and I forgot to cut on my lights over there. There's the lights. Welcome into Chief Talk, and welcome in Chief Talk every week. Guest Bob the Cigar. You look like you're in a. You look like you were toking it up over there.
Room. Well, I'm talking into my microphone right now, which is hooked up to.
You doing a little ASMR work over there?
We gonna use microphones now?
I gave you a microphone. Ding dong. They couldn't even hear you. Welcome in Mac Burks and Charles Adams and Jay Bates, Bob Ellis, Gary Zanstra, Sean Crawley. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Mac Burkson's already calling me a jerk.
Hello,
so I went
everybody.
over to YouTube and I put first because he always goes to YouTube and puts first. So he said, always keeping the man down. Charles Adamson says, and I thought I was early. Jay Bates says, ha ha ha, first, who cares? Let's see if the mics work. You should be first dingus. You're first in the studio.
No, wait, you better fuss at Jay because he called you dingus, and you fussing at Mac just for calling you whatever.
But here's the thing. Jay calls me dingus with, like, affection. Like
so does Mac. Mac treats you like his nephew. It's like me and Mac are brothers, and that's Uncle Mac.
Redheaded stepchild.
No, you should call him Uncle Mac.
Bob Ellis says, no, I'm actually speaking of, I've got the Barber and Cigar Company shirt on tonight. I need to center myself a little more in the camera. Bob, the cigar guy, and I were actually just talking about all sorts of camera stuff.
Photographic.
Show. But I've actually started calling old Sammy Flo Unc. So hopefully he doesn't not appreciate that. Max says, hey, everyone, driving home, listening to this great broadcast. Rick Carroll says, what up? Bob Ellis says, no one is more affectionate than Mac.
Agreed. Mac is just
affection, though, machine. Isn't always positive.
He's just a love machine.
Right? Or no, is affection always positive?
And he worked it for you.
Because, like, if you're mad at somebody, is that still affection? No, affection's a positive.
No, affection is not.
Jason Martin, welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing this evening? Big thank you over to Michael Carter and Rick Carroll for hitting the like button over on Facebook. How are you guys doing this evening? Bob Cigar Guy, how are you doing?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
I'm dreading the fact that I got to work 7 days straight. They done took back our Sundays, so
you got to go to work tomorrow
for 7 days. And then tomorrow night, we've been invited to a local lounge to do a speakeasy cigar event, and so I've got my Peaky Blinders hat and my little.
You should go dress up for us.
No, thank you.
Fashion show at work.
No.
That's an office thing. Jay Bates says, I have the black shirt. Nice. Jay Bates just can't let me have anything.
I think Jay Bates is just borrowing people's leaves so he can run them over and set them on fire.
Yeah.
He does that every day, unless he's got
No,
like 75 acres of property.
His last fire is this weekend. It's going to be 2.
It's like every day he's on that mower. He just wants to get away from the family.
You got to think, geologically, he is farther up, right? So his leaves are, even though our leaves are falling, like we got a lot of leaves that are falling, but his leaves are falling even more.
Yeah, but it's like every day. I'm tired.
Max says, "Thanks for defending me, Bob and BCG."
I got you back every day, Bubba.
So I also have this travels with me everywhere, my Barber and Cigar pin that I have on my book bag from old Barber and Cigar, Sammy Flo and Co. Unc Sammy. I just call him Unc. Your hair's looking good over there. It's starting to push out the side of your hat.
Look at that. Yeah, it sticks
2
straight
weeks.
out. Look at that. It's just
not next week.
Sammy.
The week after. He's not on yet. We'll have to remind him. Now, I do want to say a big thank you to Charles Adamson for the love over on Facebook. Russ Brown.
Is it 2 weeks?
Thank you for the like. It is. So next week end is the single digits of November, right? Because Tuesday's the 31st. No. Yeah. Tuesday's the 31st. So Wednesday's the 1st. Thursday's the 2nd, right?
Jason, that rotator cuff surgery, the thing that sucks with it is luckily when I had my rotator cuff, it was my right shoulder and I'm left-handed. So I could wipe my butt, but I was not going to let my wife or anybody wipe my butt. So I had decided I was going to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of cheap 99-cent towels and cut a hole in them and hook them on the doorknob to the bathroom. And when I was done making my boop boop, I would sling it up under my legs and just kind of pull it up and just kind of slide back and forth and then throw that towel in the garbage and get the next towel.
You didn't do that.
I didn't have to because I'm left-handed and I could reach, but I was prepared.
He was prepared to spend $75 on towels, but not $60 on a cheap bidet.
It doesn't get off the crust.
Don't let it crust. Why do you have crust?
Sometimes
you have crust,
man, I got
you didn't. If you got crust, you need to go back to wiping school.
I got different levels of poop. Sometimes we got clay. We got
Jamie Vaughn, thank you for the love. Steve Harvey, thank you for the like over on Facebook. Jay Bates says it's a good excuse to smoke cigar. BTCG, don't take that away from me.
No, I get it. I get it.
Max says, is BTCG's appearance fee in the 4-figure or 5-figure range? It's the full figure range.
Oh, that's funny.
Jason Martin, I bought left-handed bidet, right arm, right-handed. Jay Bates says, TMI. Now, talking about spreading thick stuff, Jay Bates was spreading tar all across his roof this weekend.
No.
He had to patch a leak, and I think he just went crazy. I think he bought too much, and he was like, well, I'm already up here.
Slap it on.
Why don't I just go ahead and take care of it while I'm up here?
Yeah, that job sucks.
Caleb Betts says butt sweat. Now, I don't know. You remember the show? You probably remember it. Show called Robin Big.
Yes.
Big.
Fantasy Factory.
Well, no, it was Robin Big before it was Fantasy Factory.
Same guy, though.
Correct. Rob
Dietrich.
Dietrich is the guy who works with Blackened. So there's an episode of Robin Big early on in the show where Big Black puts ham on Drama's head. Drama's taking a nap on the couch, and Big Black drops his shorts down and puts his butt on his head, and the camera catches this white thing stuck to his butt.
Toilet paper.
And then Rob was like, whoa, what's going on here? He was like, man, it's a man pond. You never heard of a man pond? So what he would do is he would wad up toilet paper and he would stick it right over the hole. And so if he coughed and farted and a little bit came out, he'd be able to catch it. And he was like, you don't believe me? He pulled it out and it had a little bit of doo-doo stuck on the thing. So
now I've done that when I've had an upset stomach and I'm working the lawn and you can't get off the lawn. You can't go to the bathroom and, you're afraid you cough one hard one. Yeah, but until the modem kicks in, you got to pack that crack.
I ain't never done that.
Oh, I have.
I'm not going to say that either. Charles Adamson beating me to the point. What are you guys smoking? He's smoking a CLE 25th anniversary box pressed. I do want to know, what are you guys smoking? What are you guys drinking? I am currently finishing off an H99 Super Ancho.
Review drops Tuesday.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Jay Bates was happy to see that I sent him that photo of it. Jason Martin said, shaking my hands. Russ Brown says, well, this is a poopy conversation. We are sitting at 18 people on live, but we did go to 22 while we were talking about man ponds.
And they got off. They said, nope, wrong channel.
But no, that's funny. Sorry, Jason Martin, sorry that you have to get the surgery. But also good that you're getting the surgery, because you're going to get it taken care of, and that doesn't have to hamper you down going forward. Rick Carroll is smoking a Cuatro Cinco and drinking a Dr. Pepper. I'm finishing off a Wild Cherry Pepsi because I've got 2 cold Dr. Peppers in the fridge, and I didn't want to drink them up before the show started. So I opted to do the Cherry Pepsi, Wild Cherry Pepsi. Wild. Bob Ellis is smoking a Blackened. Now, on the Discord last week, Bob Ellis was going and doing his parent-teacher conferences. And he talked about having this up on his smart board.
Yeah.
So he actually posted a photo in the Discord of our big old heads on his
Are you serious?
in the classroom. So I thought it was kind of funny.
We have arrived.
We are now in school, and it wasn't my wife who brought me into school. So
speaking of Mac Bergson's question about what my fee is, this and that, I have been invited to be on Smoke Night Live with Cigar Dojo next Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I was actually thinking today,
and they're going to the Barn Smokers.
Fantastic. I was actually thinking today about actually, let me go back. I don't want to sound like I'm weirdly dismissive. Oh, that's your lighter. I thought the fan had cut on my my computer and it was going crazy. I'm excited to see the Dojo boys.
Have you heard the humidor is whining now?
Whining?
Yeah, it starts whining.
Does it have water in it?
Yeah, I put water in it and it still squalls.
Might need to pull the fan out for a day and WD-40 up the fan on there. Russ Brown's got a 2019 UF4 happy release day with a Pepsi. Is tonight the UF4 launch? So super excited to see the Dojo boys. Got to see them very briefly at PCA. They were busy, as they should have been.
Wide open.
Just like we were busy as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get to hang out with them.
I have a question about PCA later.
But hold on, before that, I don't know what you guys are going to be doing your Smoke Night Live about.
Probably Barn Smoker stuff.
Oh, Barn Smoker stuff. Okay. I actually have thought about doing a bracket challenge like the Dojo boys do.
Oh, with food?
Thanksgiving foods bracket challenge. Because there's 30 things that you could have on a Thanksgiving table. And, the big thing is turkey
or ham,
right? And I think, I think I need to try to...
Or turducken.
I need to try to do a little figuring out how to do the bracket.
Baked turkey or smoked turkey or fried turkey.
I won't go that far. Unless I can't think of enough things for... But, I mean, you got... Like, when it comes to Thanksgiving, right, you've got turkey, ham. Some people could even do roast beef. I don't think that would make it in the 1 through 16 range or the 1 through 8 range.
Turducken.
Like those are options, but then you got mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, stuffing,
deviled eggs,
white gravy,
cranberries in a
can, apple pie, pumpkin pie,
rolls,
apple fritters, rolls, biscuits, cornbread,
sweet potato pie,
all sorts of things that we could lump up and put
ambrosia,
in there.
Watergate salad.
Do you do greens? Do you do some sort of weird like family tradition for your Thanksgiving that's not like a normal American food? Like, do you do, instead of turkey, do you do like kielbasa, or do you do elk?
Max Mama's award-winning pie.
Watergate? No, it's a Watergate salad, right? Something like that.
I think it was a salad, wasn't it?
Charles Adams says Wolfgang Puck brined turkey. Caleb Bett says a goose. I got
Never had goose.
Law Ream says his family does weird stuff. Like what kind of weird stuff for Thanksgiving, Law Ream? J8 says, what salad did BTCG just say?
Ambrosia and Watergate.
Yeah. Law Ream, hit the love button on Facebook. Appreciate the love. Charles Adamson says, Chief kills geese. Not sure if he will eat one. I'd eat a goose. I've eaten iguana, so I'd eat a goose. Jay Bates says cheesy potatoes. Ooh, that's not. And there's all sorts. Like you could do you could do like mashed potatoes. You could do baked potatoes. You could do like the skillet potatoes,
the
russet potatoes, the cheesy potatoes.
But you got to have the gravy with the mushrooms.
Oh no mushrooms.
No giblets, but gravy with the mushrooms.
Russ Brown says crab cakes. It's a Baltimore thing. So
and I love crab cakes, but they are so expensive when they're done right.
Yeah, I don't know about
Jello salad. That's what it was.
My mom's $10,000 Jello salad will win in my house. You tried to make it.
I made it, but I don't think I made it right.
It wasn't good.
It was good. It was tart. It was very tart.
I didn't like it, but again, Mac's mama didn't make it.
So. Yeah, so I don't know if I made it true to Mac's mama.
Now I kind of wish
Mac needs to invite us for Thanksgiving, and we need to come to his house, and then he can have it made, and we can try it in true Bergson style.
I'm not hauling my smoker down to Jacksonville. So.
You ain't never gonna take it out back of your truck.
I know. I had it there for a week. I was busy all weekend.
Look, you had that thing here for 8 months, probably.
No, I haven't had it here that long.
No, it's been here a long time.
No, Gary came down in March.
All right, 7 months.
So yeah, it's been chilling over here for a while. But I don't like to smoke during the summer because it's just so dang hot to sit out there with it. Candied yams with ice cream. I've never had it with ice cream.
I'm not a candy yam sweet potato guy. But...
I'm not a sweet potato guy either. I mean, I do like sweet potato fries. I do enjoy the sweet potato fries, but I don't do the sweet potato pies. I don't do the candied yams. And if there ain't nothing else that is appetizing, you got some families do Thanksgiving right, and some families try to do Thanksgiving right.
Look at us. We don't do it wrong.
No, our family, we understand what seasonings are.
No, we put the food on.
We have a very good concept of what seasonings are and what seasonings should do and should be like.
We cover the table with so much food, there's no room to sit around it.
Every other year, my family, my 5 are here. We come do Thanksgiving over here. And when that happens, there's always 2 turkeys because my mom doesn't want to not cook a turkey. Like she has to cook a turkey, and I get it. But I love to cook turkey too. I love to smoke a turkey, and so I bring over a smoked turkey, or I smoke a turkey here. I think this year, because I finally got my smoker, at least in the back of my truck, I might just smoke it wherever I'm at. I might just leave it there.
Just climb up, and put a stair up, and step in the truck.
Honestly, I actually need to take it out because Shannon's got to use my truck tomorrow. But that means that like 11 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be trying to muscle that smoker out of the back of my truck.
You need a couple ratchet straps. You can just strap it down.
Oh, it's already strapped. I mean, it's strapped to the back of my truck. It ain't not strapped. Eric Orta, thanks for hitting the like button over on Facebook. Charles Adamson says, start with cocktails, apple pie, and Reese's peanut butter martinis.
He cracked the bourbon pretty early.
I don't think I've ever drank alcohol on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you have.
I don't think so.
Yes, you have. We come up here and we'll grab a bottle from there, and we have that before we start eating.
Is that Thanksgiving or is that Christmas?
Yes. New Year's too.
No, I usually get fussed at for smoking cigars on both of those days because they're like, "Oh, you're taking time." And it's usually you fussing at me
because I got fussed at before you got here. But then I know that if Steven smokes a cigar, I can smoke a cigar because Steven's mama's baby. he and I go in there and say, "Oh, so Steven smokes a cigar. I can't smoke a cigar. Oh, I'm gonna smoke a cigar."
Well, you just can't smoke too many in a row. That's what it is.
I'm glad she's not watching right now.
No, but tonight's show is called Cigar Traditions, and I don't know if you guys follow the Bob the Cigar Guy Facebook page. Dad, I don't know if you saw the post that I put out there with sharing the picture of the
Football.
baseball player who
Yeah.
was smoking the Oscar Vallartes. I think it was a Texas Rangers guy who was smoking the Oscar cigar. And I thought, if you could, because I've heard, I don't remember who I heard it from, but I heard that when it comes to teams that are in Texas, Oscar Vallartes has a way to get his cigars into locker rooms. Because I think it was the Astros last year, he posted photos of them smoking his cigars. And then there was another time, I don't think it had to have done anything with football. Maybe it was one of the college teams, but like Tim Ostener with Crown Heads, right? He was able to get cigars into Tennessee's locker room for their upset over Alabama last year, right? And so it got me kind of thinking, if you could have access into the dugout or the locker room of your favorite sports team, one, who's your favorite sports team? And then two, what brand would you try to put in there so that when they started posting pictures of them smoking stuff, on social media, or when ESPN catches pictures of them smoking Victory cigars and it showed the company, who would you want branded for the world to see them celebrating with? And I had said Foundation Cigar Signature.
No, I would have to go with, and it would be a select cigar. It would be the 25th anniversary white grape and cranberry Swisher Gold.
What?
That would be the cigar. That'd be the one.
I'm not taking you seriously on that. JB says, great answer, Bob. Yes, clearly Chief drank too much and he doesn't remember. Charles Adamson says, Screwball whiskey and Godiva chocolate liqueur makes a Reese's martini. When we first got our hands on Screwball, I thought it was like one of the best things in the world. But then, as I've drank Screwball, we actually used to have some in here. I think we just trashed it, or maybe I trashed it. No, it's still up there. It's just too sweet for me.
It is sweet.
I think that's a perfect bourbon whiskey for mixing.
Yeah, it's a good mixed drink.
LeBron smoking the Underground Shade.
Somebody was smoking one Safari style. I forget who it was. They didn't know. They were just smoking it backwards. But it was a Drill State cigar. I think it was.
Well, for all intents and purposes, we'll say that they watched your
toast.
YouTube video.
Yeah.
I did think about maybe we should create a video that is like, hey, your team just won and you're going to smoke cigars and you don't know which ones to get or which ones to smoke or how to smoke. This is how because I'm on Twitter for sports and sports only. I follow a lot of Florida football recruiting over on Twitter. Follow a lot of Liverpool stuff and updates with transfers and all that stuff on Twitter. And because it's football season, there in Alabama beat Tennessee this past weekend, there were videos up of people lighting up and smoking cigars in the crowd. And there were videos of dudes struggling to light the cigars or get a puff out of it. Like they just, kissed the flame to the bottom of it and were trying to puff on it like they were going to, like it was just going to automatically blow up. So one of them had a Plasencia Alma Fuerte and the footband was still all the way down and it was lit.
Ooh. Taste of Nichols and Wrigley's gum wrapper. But you know what? It's subtle, but I want you to kind of look at this from this perspective. In the past 2 or 3 years, teams are starting to smoke cigars in celebration. For 10 years before that, it was pretty much taboo. You didn't do it anymore.
It was always champagne.
Right? And so now it's gone to the point to where those superstars are smoking cigars, and now the crowd is when they join in the celebration. And I truly believe that is somewhat because of COVID and the lockdown, and everybody started smoking cigars and buying more cigars. I think it's the pendulum swinging back towards a more cigar friendly world.
I mean, you see that. I mean, cigars have definitely had an uptick in sales or reputability, positive reputability because of certain podcasters. Right.
And that, Joe
Rogan.
What about the bald-headed guy that people say he's
Andrew Tate?
Okay. And he always talks about smoking cigars, and they're always smoking
Yeah,
cigars.
and a lot of the things that Andrew Tate says when it comes to cigars isn't exactly factually based, which a lot of the things that he says aren't factually based, either just opinion driven.
I don't know much about him at all, except that he's polarizing to you, the love you hate him.
But Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate smoking cigars with their podcast and talking about being manly and all this stuff, and they smoke cigars. And then you have Joe Rogan, who smokes cigars with his podcast, and Foundation Cigars has created a blend for Joe Rogan. It may or may not be the Matapa, don't know, but Joe Rogan has his, JRE cigars that are from Foundation Cigars. He also smokes other cigars. And then you have other podcasters and other comedians that, like Bert Kreischer, who has been smoking some cigars and talking about, cigars and stuff. So cigars are definitely on an uptick. You're right, in the sense of visibility in the world. Matt Berkson says Chelsea's Thiago Silva smoking a Liga Selección de Mercado after defeating Liverpool 6-0 in the Champions League. Well, for you and your marketability, I hope that does happen, and I hope, because you didn't say final, I hope it's the semifinal or somewhere where there's an aggregate, and we beat you 7-0 the next time, like we beat Manchester United last year 7-0.
Uncle Larry said Jordan smokes mostly Cubans. The little bit that I've seen him smoking cigars, I think he smokes cigars because it's what manly men are supposed to do, and he figures out what the most rare and most hard to get cigars are. I bet if you sat 15 cigars down in front of him, he couldn't tell you which ones cost $3 and which ones cost $50.
Oh, no. I think
he is not a cigar aficionado by any means.
I disagree. I think Jordan's an aficionado. I think Jordan has. I think he has I think he's well versed in cigars.
I think he looks at price point and exclusivity alone.
I think that's a possibility. I think he probably does do here's my humidor full of $500 cigars. But I think Jordan, Steve Harvey, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Steve Harvey, absolutely.
I think that those guys do. I think because Jordan says he smokes a lot. Like you can't just. I can't imagine that you smoke for that many years, that many cigars a day, and you don't have somewhat of knowledge of the blend or other companies or other things where companies reach out to him, right?
Yeah, but if you're smoking just for exclusivity, he wouldn't pick up a Saka cigar because it's not a $50, $100, $125, $200 cigar.
I think he probably has limited himself, again, to Cubans.
I think it's important as what he looks like when he's smoking it more than what he's enjoying when he's smoking it.
I also think Jordan probably has he's well versed in Cuban cigars and Cuban tobacco, right? I mean, he smokes a lot of Cuban cigars, a lot of Cuban tobacco, so he knows what he likes.
Yeah,
he's not gonna just continue to smoke cigars to look cool, and he smokes a whole entire cigar on a golf course, and coughs up a lung because he's uncomfortable.
How would you like to have been with Red Meat Lovers Club this week?
Where were they?
Cuba.
Oh, they were in Cuba?
They took a trip to Cuba. 18 of them, I think it was, went to Cuba.
I mean, I guess
I would like to go to Cuba.
From a photography and videography standpoint, that'd be awesome. From a content standpoint, absolutely, it'd be dope. But if somebody offered me the same trip to Nicaragua, to Drew State and Hoya and see soccer stuff and all that, I'd take that.
I would go to Cuba just for the fact that I would gain that knowledge and have firsthand experience on what everybody says. The quality is bad. It's not what it used to be. They're not happy over there. They're this or they're that or they're whatever. I want to go be. So if I'm sharing with people, I'm not sharing something somebody's already said.
But I wonder,
I can say second or firsthand what it is.
When you have those tourism tours, right? Because that's probably what it was, is a tourism tour. I imagine that on that tour, on a tourism tour to Cuba, it's probably not as strict and stringent as a tour to North Korea, so to say. But I would gather to say that they probably don't take you to places where you're going to be able to see or talk to people about how bad life is. Or
yeah, but there's ways.
Good life
there's
is.
ways to get people to take you places you're not supposed to go.
Yeah, but do you want to create an international incident, especially in today's climate with all that's going on in the world? You know, with Israel and Gaza and Palestine, Hamas, and then Ukraine and Russia, and all the tensions that are going on there. I don't know if that'd be a bright idea to do right now.
I ain't scared. Max said, sadly, Potatoes lost. They played well against a much better team, but they lost. We were still so proud, and they beat those cheating Titans the week before. Potatoes are still number one in my book.
I just lit up the Blackwork Studio Killer Bee.
Not my favorite.
This is actually a cigar that is pretty good, I think.
Great pictures. It's got that green wrap in the candela.
It's got the little bee butt design up there. The double wrapper. Oh, there's Uncle Sammy right there. Look at that sexiness.
He wasn't talking about your shirt. He was talking about the sides of my hair. Look at that white right there.
We're both white. So, Brad Haney, welcome in. How are you doing? Charles Adamson says, I hear you need to pack your own toilet paper when going to Cuba. They tend to run out in the hotels. Ooh.
Or go to Walmart and buy cheap towels and cut a hole in them and stick them on your doorknob.
Walmart's in Cuba, my friend.
Well, that's possible.
Bob Ellis says he really liked the Killer Bee. Now, this is out of Smoke Inn's Cigar of the Month Club.
I would also go to Cuba and buy Cubans to bring them back and share with people. Maybe do giveaways, maybe do stuff like that. I know this year, next year, Sarah and I are taking a cruise over to Europe. We're going to Spain. We're going to Italy. We're going to take a tour in Pompeii. And I told Sarah, I said, it'd be really funny if I lit up a cigar and I dumped my ash and said, it's just going to match. But she probably said that'd be a bad idea, so I wouldn't do that. But I plan to bring home some Cubans. That's the plan.
I'm sure that would be I don't know. You gotta talk with a Mac and figure out which country is going to be the cheapest to buy from. Because my buddy who's in the Deadly Breakfast Club, Simon, he works at a cigar lounge in Scotland, Edinburgh, and they are getting in the Selection de Mercados, and they are £50 a piece.
Wow! I heard the first grade Cubans and the first grade Fuentes go to Spain. Their best
Mac.
I'll
Just go to El Wal
Mercado. So I have a PCA question.
Okay.
So as you know, this year PCA has come out just last week, this week, that last year we went to PCA, we had to be a member. We had to pay $450 dues, just like anybody that else goes to PCA or gets PCA support. And the only thing media gets is we get the press releases, we get to go to the event. Yeah. And we had to get vetted. We had to have somebody else.
Discounts on things too, but it
really doesn't affect us. Right. It doesn't affect media. And evidently there's been a problem of, I didn't know they were called trick-or-treaters. People who might have an Instagram page with 3,000 or 4,000 followers, or they just kind of play around with it just a little bit. They go to the manufacturer and say, hey, let me come and let me get one of your badges. And then I'll do some videos for you. And then I'll walk around and I'll get all sorts of cigars from everybody else to avoid having to deal with that. So they have gotten rid of the $450 entry fee. We don't have to pay this year, which is amazing if we go, because we don't know if we're going. We hope we're going. But my question to you is, I've seen some industry titans in the media say, and some other people who just like to say things, said there were way too many media people on the floor. Did you notice, and Law, if you're still here, I'd love to hear your answer too. Did you notice there was a bunch of media? Because I didn't see a ton of media on the floor.
So, okay. So, two things. I would hope that the people who are upset about the amount of media on the floor are not brand owners. Because I've been thinking about this, I've been mulling this over this past week. When it comes to brands, some brands, in my opinion, get it, and some brands don't. And what I mean by that is some brands sponsor shows, send out cigars to reviewers or websites or things like that. And other brands. Michael Carter says, early to bed, good night, guys. See you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Other brands rely on you to just go and purchase it yourself from a humidor. Right. Now,
they basically believe Half Wheel and Cigar.
So yeah,
Cigar Snob and
everybody
Cigar
sends the Half Wheel. Everybody sends the Cigar Snob. Everybody sends to Aficionado because those are the big
right.
Boys.
Paper, mainly paper, and Half Wheel's audio or video.
Print.
Yeah.
So I would if I owned a company and I was able to get out, maybe I can't, because we have some companies send us boxes of their cigars, and then some companies just send us 5 individual sticks because they're not super big of a company, or they just hope that one stick is going to get through the review, and not be a bad smoking construction stick, not be a terrible smoking experience. It arrives safely to your home. And there are reasons why some companies do that. They're small, right? They don't have a big shipping department when it comes to media. They don't know who those media people are.
Right.
So I would hope that the people who are possibly complaining or upset about the amount of media members on the floor, I hope that those are not owners of companies, owners of manufacturers, so on and so forth. 2, did I notice too many media companies? I don't think I noticed too many. I noticed a good handful. I learned of some new media companies while I was there. Obviously, when it comes to when you're a brand owner and you have a certain amount of time to meet with people to sell your product, sometimes you don't want to bog down your schedule with, if you have 40 time slots available, 4 days, 10 time slots a day. If you have 40 time slots available that you as the head of the company are making sales, which I don't know if I saw any heads of companies, especially bigger companies, making, like Saka wasn't making sales, right? Now he makes sales through his personality. He makes sales through, but you go to Miss Yvonne, you go to Chris Duque, you go to David Lafferty, you go to Miss Cindy, you go to those people and you do your, but not everybody has that full team, right? Some like the Artisanal del Tobacco, like they had, Gus and his brother, and then they had the other guy that was there that grabbed us and said, "Hey, we'd love for you."
Yeah.
That's how I would want to handle it. If I see somebody walking around with a camera, hey, I'd love. I don't care if you have 5 people. You got 50,000 people. You got 200,000 people. Let's try to get our name out there. Hopefully, maybe somebody just sees Half Wheel put out an article on our cigar and there was no video, and somebody wants to go find the video, so they go to YouTube, type in El Pulpo or Viva La Vida or just Artisanal del Tobacco, and then you get to watch a video.
And then there were some manufacturers, like my father was one, where all the bigwigs, they sat in nice, pretty seats by themselves, and they had people that would stand in between, but they wouldn't let you get to those people.
Yeah,
you had to be somebody for those people to stand up and come talk to you.
And not everybody was like that.
No, there were some.
So to finish my second point, I don't know if I saw too many media people.
I don't think I saw 20.
But with that being said, I can only be on one spot of the floor at one time.
And we were busy.
My goal is when we go to sit down and interview Steve Saka, I'm not, even though Foundation Cigar is right next door, or the Peterson Pipes are on the other side, or Gurkha is right there by it, like, look, I have interviews with them later or tomorrow or in 2 days. I'll say hello to them then, if or when we have our scheduled time to be with them. I'm worried about Saka. I'm worried about Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust. I'm worried about everybody who works with Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust at that booth at that time slot. I'm not worried about anybody. So I didn't pay attention to seeing who was running around with cameras, who was running around with microphones, who was running around with their phone. Some people, and I fall victim to this. One of the reasons why I wanted us to take the big Sony A7 II and microphones to PCA is because I wanted it to look more professional.
Yeah.
I wanted it to look like I was there to create premium content. Now it's up to me to take that content and make it premium. And that's not to say that a GoPro can't do premium content or a phone can't do premium content. They can. But when I bet that there's probably a little voice in the back of heads of certain people that say, oh, I thought this was an interview. I didn't know this was just going to be a selfie video on an iPhone or,
when
put
I
a
used
GoPro down on a table. And not saying that anybody did that. I'm just saying that's how I work it out in my head.
when I used to turn wrenches, and I owned a shop, if people come to get a job and in the back of their pickup truck, they had a snap-on toolbox, I would give them a little bit more respect or a little bit more expectations than somebody pulls up in a Craftsman box or a Home Depot box or a cardboard box or whatever, because they made an investment, right? They are invested in this. This is not just something they're just doing on a whim, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. They actually put some sweat equity into it, put some skin in the game. When you have your camera, and then there was that one crew that had that huge camera with the handles and the big thing and the microphones and the boom box
that was the big website.
I mean, I didn't even talk
Cigar Aficionado.
I didn't even talk loud around those people because I didn't want to interrupt what they were doing, because it was like, oh, those guys are serious.
Yeah, and there's like Bovida, right? Bovida was there to sell product, but Bovida also had it set up to do interviews the whole entire show, and they've been releasing interviews from PCA. And I kind of wish that we could do that. I wish that we could have a booth at PCA and just make meeting appointment times with media, and then they come to us. We sit down in the booth, we get them rigged up for microphones, lights, and all that stuff, and then the background is the same every time. But then, does every company bring all of the cigars with them? So there is a,
or do they take the time to come?
Or, right. Because again, like we talked about last week, we came across 2 companies that we had scheduled time with, and they were eating, during our scheduled time, which was fine. At least with Aventura, like they were mortified when they found out that they were eating during our time. They're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We did that. And they made up for it. It was a great interview. And they gave us cigars.
Put a sticker on my shirt.
I do want to say thank you to Chairman Lai for hitting the like button over on Facebook. We got 13 people on YouTube, 3 people over on Facebook. If you have not hit the like button on either one of those, please do. And if you're on Facebook, do share this to your Facebook cigar group so that the word gets out. Now, I do want to make sure that, because I haven't done it yet, I want you to know that Cigar is on your screen. We're not there anymore. Hopefully, we're still there. Cigar is the leading cigar accessory brand, designing and marketing innovative products such as butane lighters, precision cigar cutters, travel cases, humidors, premium butane fuel, and humidification systems. Creator of the revolutionary and iconic XI cutter, Cigar products are sold in thousands of retail locations around the world. Use the coupon code CHIEFTALK, all one word and in capitals, for 15% off your order at Cigar.com. That code is up and available for all of you.
Did you see Max said, I'm telling you the best place to get a Cuban is probably Cigars Havana. I can't say that?
No, you can say Cigars of Havana, but you can't say
I didn't say the rest.
Well, if you go to that place, you just got to be careful. Comments are one thing. Reading those comments is another. As long as you do it correctly. We don't want to get in YouTube trouble again.
We're always in YouTube trouble.
But definitely, I don't know. I am curious to see, because we've now done PCA once, right? So we saw how PCA worked that way, and maybe that was a new way for PCA. I don't know. So it is going to be interesting to see how different it is next year with media.
And it's at a new center. It's at the convention center.
I am happy that the email, because the email, actually, why don't I just go ahead and pull up the email? The email said something about, media aren't going to have to pay, but you still have to provide such and such credentials. So that will, I don't like calling, what did you call them? Not scabs. What did you call it?
Trick-or-treaters.
Trick-or-treaters. I guess it's 6 of one, half dozen the other for me. I hope I didn't delete that email. I might have. Let's see. Oh, I kept the one that you sent me.
You're talking about entry, right?
So we wanted to alert you to change impacting your premium PCA membership in the coming year, beginning with the. Let me spread my screen out a little bit. Beginning in the 2024 membership enrollment, the PCA will no longer charge members of the media for membership into the association. You and your team will still be allowed to attend the annual trade show and will receive regular updates from the PCA regarding the latest legislations, regulations, and industry happenings. Changes being made following feedback we have received from numerous media regarding the price of membership and how the association handles media attendance at the trade show. Starting with PCA 24 in March 2024, media will be asked to apply for a specialized media/press badge to attend the annual trade show. Similar to other trade shows, those applying for the media/press badge will need to provide credentials in form of articles, videos, and other examples media coverage to qualify for a press badge. Once approved, you'll be able to pick up your badge at registration as you have in previous years. Your press badge will get you access to all Friday activities before the show, including the opening reception. And on all show days, media badges will have access to the show floor the same time as exhibitors to allow for some additional time for meetings and interviews. It was our hope that this change will cut down on the number of individuals using the media registration for the wrong reasons. We are currently working with exhibitors to ensure they encourage anyone seeking to come to the show with the intent of giving media coverage to do so under the new system rather than giving them a badge meant for staff/employees. So that's that goes on, but it doesn't have.
So we get to get in early.
So we'll get to get in that hour early from when, because it was exhibitors could get in at 9, and then everybody who was there to purchase or media got in at 10.
No. The early people got in at 10, and media and the early people got in at 10, and then everybody else got in at 11.
Right, but if you were a company if you're a humidor, right, who sells cigars, if you purchased
the early entry ticket,
the early entry thing, you got in that extra hour early. Not a whole lot of comments going on. I think they're just so enthralled with what we're saying. So with that, it will discourage people from, having, let's say, let's just come up with a Dr. Pepper Cigar Co. Somebody reaches out to Dr. Pepper Cigar Co. and says, hey, I'd love to come take pictures of your Dr. Pepper cigars while at PCA, but I'd also like to be able to run around and get pictures and maybe interview some folks while I'm there. But I can't get in unless I have an exhibitor badge with Dr. Pepper Cigar Co. That does, because the exhibitor, they get their amount of badges, right? It's
right.
They just give it to somebody who they say, oh yeah, this guy's a staff for us. He's going to be doing our media here at the show. But we expect him to stay here, and then those people never go. So I could see how some people could get upset about that. I could see how media members who pay the $450 and jump through the hoops correctly get upset because these other people, the trick-or-treaters, got in with Dr. Pepper Cigar Co., but now they're able to get the same media coverage that I was, but at $450 cheaper than what.
And there were some media that they actually went and worked somebody's booth, and they actually worked the booth the whole time. Mm-hmm. There was a couple people I know, friends of ours, that they worked the booth. That was got paid. They got paid to go work the booth for those people, or maybe they were, because there are some media people who are attached to a manufacturer, and they might be a salesperson for the manufacturer, and so they also do media.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would end up that would instead of them doing media, they would do floor work for that company.
Yeah.
But then there were some that as soon as they got there, they took off and they just started
You
running
know,
around and doing stuff.
Obviously, I don't have the numbers and the metrics to be able to say who was there legit and who was there trick or treating. Obviously, we went legit because we paid $450. We got vouched for by Cigar Dojo. And I imagine that,
And we got 30 reviews, interviews.
and I imagine that, you know, I would go to say that the people who put out most people who put out a lot of content from the show did it the $450 way, because when PCA Googles PCA interviews and then they see that there's 30 companies on YouTube who are putting out PCA 2023 videos, they can say, oh, 97% of these names are registered on our list, right? Charles Adamson says, sounds similar to a press pass for professional auto racing. You have to prove you're published if freelance and or working for an established media company, which when you apply for the membership through the $450 payment last year and years before, I assume, you had to provide credentials. You had to provide articles. You had to provide videos. You had to provide some sort of media that showed you are actually there for media. You're not there to try to go bum cigars off of companies.
Like it's a cigar festival.
You know, or you know, just get in the door somehow, you know, to say that you went to PCA and, you know, showed all these pictures that, oh, look, I was at PCA. Well, how'd you get PCA? Oh, I rigged the system.
Right. And there was a statement that was kind of cool that I hadn't thought about. You know, if you're a media person for baseball, you don't pay for your ticket to get into the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, football, NASCAR, all this and that. But you're expected to be in that area, right?
Max comment.
You have to be in the bullpen, or you have to be in the press pen, or whatever. You know.
Yeah. You know, if it's not costing PCA any money for us to come as media, right? They're not paying us to
for
cover
booth space, and
they're not paying us to cover their show. They're not paying us to cover, you know, the brands that are there. They're not paying us to cover the workshops and the parties and all that. So like, we paid our way to get there, and we're doing them a convenience by. We're not there for the PCA. We're there for the manufacturers because, well, one, we want to smoke their cigars. We want to be able to have it, but we also want to be able to smoke their cigars first and get the reviews out on YouTube and Chevette Report, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, so that there's traffic that comes to our channel. Uncle Larry wants to know, what are your thoughts on that cigar, Chief? I like the cigar. Killer Bee's not bad.
I would like to interview some people from PCA, the group, the organization. I think that's something that there's hardly any media coverage on. And I went to the classes. I went to the seminars.
What's going on?
And those seminars and classes would not be something that I would want to put a video out, because I don't think it's interesting enough. It's very niche to manufacturers and to retail.
I think with the PCA, if you sat down with those people to talk, you would want to get that on camera. You'd want to.
Yeah, what I'm saying is going to the, like, I went to all the classes and seminars.
Yeah.
And
are you going to do that again next year?
Probably. The video, there's really no, for the people that consume our content, they don't own shops, pretty much. They're not manufacturers, pretty much. And so it's mainly geared towards manufacturers dealing with legislation and dealing with retailers and dealing with, smoke bans and stuff like that. But I'd like to talk to PCA, because I like people to find out what PCA is about. It's not just a cigar show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, their main thing obviously is the trade show, right? Their main drive is to host an event space large enough to have the non-Cuban world's largest brands all in one roof, right? but they do so much work through the year that are not trade show, right? They do lobbying, they do legislation, they do the government meetings, they do the things where they have a meeting space and they bring down senators or governors or whatever to have these things. I imagine that most of the information that gets consumed about the PCA, not PCA as in the show, but the PCA, probably comes through secondary print media. Half Wheel, Cigar Aficionado, Shred Report, Coop, Dojo.
Via their press releases.
Right. Via, press releases. Or, because the people who run the PCA they've been on live streams before. Like they've not been on our live stream because we've never gone that route, but they've been on other companies' live streams. And I would say that probably well over 60% of people who consume information about the PCA or from the PCA comes from a secondary source.
But I'd like to sit down with them and just kind of have a chit chat with them. I think that would be a neat piece of content. Just to kind of get that information out there. But I don't know. But now that we're going to be there 2 hours early, an hour early, we can get 45 interviews. You'll have even more editing to do.
No way. I'm not doing that again next year. Hunter Otts says, "What's up, everybody?" Thank you also, Hunter Otts, for hitting the love button over on Facebook. And then Sammy Flo, the Barber and Cigar Co. Thank you for hitting the like button over on Facebook. Again, if you are on Facebook, all four of you over there, please do share this to your famous Facebook groups so we can get the word out on Bob Cigar Guy and Chief Talk every week. Because we do host a live stream every Thursday
at 8:15.
Jason Martin says, "Everyone have a good night. Power just went out. Hopefully be on next week with you." Jason Martin, good luck with the surgery, brother. We're praying for you. Hope everything goes well with that and the recovery, speedy recovery. We will be on next week, but the week after we will not be. Hunter Ott says, "I'm not sure if y'all have already discussed this, but what is the main difference between this year's Barn Smokers and past ones?"
Good question.
Joey Van Nostrand says, "My boys, what's up, brother? See you in a couple weeks." Hunter Otts, so the Barn Smoker themselves, pretty much the same as last year. The Barn Smoker event itself, you don't have the acid tent like you did last year.
Yeah.
But you still, it's still the same feel Barn Smoker wise.
It's longer
in the sense of you go to the event. You have the activation stations, you have the learning stations, you have all the food, you have the drinks, same sort of deal. Now, the VIP is a huge difference.
Huge.
Last year, VIP was the DE25 VIP, which was a huge production the night before. You got different cigars there. You got, different food. You got
different venue.
You had, no.
Yeah,
not in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you were in a different spot.
It's the same,
not the same venue.
Same parking lot in Pennsylvania. Same farm. Now, but Connecticut was different because Connecticut was at the Air Museum.
Which was amazing.
Florida was different because it was at the ranch,
Horsepower Ranch.
Kentucky was different because it was back at the MB Roland distilleries. But and then Bob Ellis says biggest change is no Kentucky. That was a big change. Let me see. Joey Van Nostrand, thanks for the like over on Facebook. Appreciate that, brother. But the Barn Smoker itself is pretty much the same. The raffles have changed a little bit. They kind of raffle throughout the day,
which I like.
I thought that made it go a lot smoother. Oh, my boy, Will McFall says, "Stop triggering people." We don't have HR here, so we're allowed to trigger whoever. So if you need a rest from HR, you come on over. He was actually in town, and I didn't know it last week.
Yeah, you need to quit coming in town and not coming out here on Thursday nights.
I didn't even know. I had to go and change up. I realized I had a setting. I don't think I said it. I think Facebook updated it. I wasn't getting any cigar posts outside of my posts on my feed for almost a week.
Wow.
On my Facebook. Now my Instagram, I was getting them. But I had to change the setting to not an adult setting, but like do you want to see things unrestricted? So I had to hit that button. But I guess he had posted. I mean, he always posts about his events, and I didn't see it. But yeah, he was at that new lounge in Greenville.
Cigar Social.
Same Flow says, "Hello, Trouble, William and Val." Charles Adamson says, "Are you going to mention the Great Smoke tickets go on sale 11/1/12 at noon?"
Just did.
I posted it over on the Bob Cigar Guy Facebook page. But yeah, the Great Smoke, they're doing virtual again next year. So they're doing virtual and in-person tickets. So do keep up. It says, unfortunately, the event was on a Thursday. And that, I think the last 2 times he's had events in Greenville, it was on Thursday. But no, you've been to that cigar lounge before, right, Dan? You went. Just
no, I haven't been to Cigar Social.
Oh, I thought you went.
No, that was a different one. I haven't been there yet. I've heard good things about it though. I went to Torch.
Oh. It looked dope. The that wall they have with the neon light and all of the round ends of the wood chop. It looked pretty dope. But no, yeah, with Barn Smoker, the actual event, Barn Smoker itself, Hunter, it has not really changed at all. Now it'll be different this year with Florida. It'll be cooler. It won't be as hot.
He should have another crop up. He should have his winter crop, his fall crop.
Oh, he'll have a crop up. Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you when they discussed the Barn Smoker being later in the year,
I expect it's going to be a little bit bigger. The crop's going to be a little bit bigger because he had to cut under his previous crop because of the hail. And so I bet he turned that under and he let it rest as short as he needed to, and then he just went at it again. So because he lost that crop.
Hunter Ott says, "Isn't there a barber?" Well, there was a barber last year.
Oh my God, I hope there's a barber.
But if you see here, when we remove your comment, I'll actually put myself full screen here. If you see here on the shirt, the barber and cigar, company. Yeah, Sammy Flo, who is over on Facebook right now. This guy right there, Uncle Sammy. Him and his boys will be. Whoa, geez, Bob, what in the world?
Sammy, I have not cut my hair since the last Barn Smoker, so we can do a video together, so that there will be a drastic change between before I get my hair cut and then after I get cleaned up. But this is killing me. It's killing me. It is driving me up a wall. So, thank God I wear hats.
I have a really big light in between me and his face, and so like I can't see him. And then, so I didn't know when I switched over to us both being on that he looked like Uncle Fester. Well, not Uncle Fester, but
like I got electrocuted.
Like somebody stuck their finger in a
light socket.
Yeah. I guess that would be what's his name from Home Alone.
Sammy, that's a lot of love for you, buddy. That's months of sacrifice of not getting my hair did. We gonna do it up.
Val Chavez says, "Spike the cigar guy."
Right.
Welcome in, Val. How you doing this evening? Shanna Jane hit the love button on Facebook. So kind. My wife is such a sweetheart. But no. So yeah, Hunter, the event, the Barn Smoker itself, the event itself really hasn't changed. Now, the Barber and Cigar Company was at Barn Smoker last year.
Yeah.
So that hasn't changed. They're still there. Actually, what has changed is they have 2 locations. At least they've had 2 locations,
2 stations
this year. So I assume there will be 2 locations. Now, the Florida Barn Smoker is a smaller farm.
Hunter, you might have to sit and wait a little bit about getting your hair did, but it's worth the wait. And usually they got chairs there you can sit and hang out and just you feel like you're in a barbershop with grass. It's got that whole vibe. Now, a big difference between this year and last year is there's a new master of ceremonies.
Yeah, so Isola,
Miss Isola, and she does a great job.
She does.
Whole different vibe. But she does a great job.
So Isola does the freestyle lives.
Right.
She's the one who speaks during the freestyle lives. She does the Jack Hire job from last year. And her and Pedro kill it up on the stage. Isola's got a great personality. And so she does a really good job getting the crowd amped and pumped. But Isola, Miss Texas rep to Specs, I do believe it is. But she be slanging them deals and then comes and hangs out at the. Does that make Gracie sad that she can't cut your hair?
She doesn't want to cut my hair because I'm kind of picky, and so she doesn't. She did more coloring, lot more,
a lot of color, a whole crayon box. Sammy Flo said yes, 2 in Florida. I suggest people come see us as soon as they're there, instead of waiting around because, as Bob mentioned, we get busy. They get
I cheat because when we get there early, do walk around, and as soon as they get in their spot, I say, "You ready?" And so I get in there and get my hair did before they open the doors.
Val Chavo says that Pedro is here tomorrow at a cigar lounge, an hour or a minute or 1.5 miles from my house. Nice. You pointed at me. What?
The thing was making the noise.
That was the road. That's a motorcycle.
Oh, I thought it was a humidor. That's what it sounds like.
I had a motorcycle. Awesome, Val. Well, if you go, tell Pedro, Chief, and Bob, the cigar guy, say hello.
Yeah, we love him. We'll see him in 2 weeks.
We will. I'm excited. It seems like it's taken forever for Barn Smoker to get here. Because we've had to wait a full 2 months.
God, it does seem like
now
forever.
It's like, whew, I need to pack my bag soon.
We were complaining about turnaround last year, and then this year.
Well, I mean, shoot.
Well, Vegas was a turnaround.
This has been, those 2 Barn Smokers. I mean, both Barn Smokers. I mean, it was Vegas, come home for 3 days, go off, do a Barn Smoker, come back, and you're gone in a month again.
Yeah.
And you have like a 4 or 5 day cool down from getting back from traveling. And then you have a 4 or 5 day amp up to traveling. So that leaves you like 2 weeks in between time of not thinking about it. And it's like, holy crap, didn't I just do this?
But you're excited at the same time.
Heck yeah. Hunter Ott says, I'm shaving my beard for Halloween and leaving the stash for a Mario costume. I'll shave the stash afterwards, so I'll be clean shaved for Barn Smokers. Haven't been clean shaved since 2016. I
got that speakeasy thing tomorrow, right? And back in those days, a lot of people didn't have the goatee. And so I told your mom I was thinking about just having the mustache and shaving off the goatee and the beard part. And your mom was so kind. She could have said, what I was thinking, that, this kind of hides the chins. It actually gives my face a little squareness. But she said, your face would be a little bit more round if you did that. And she was very, very gentle when she was saying that. But I
just noticed that you did shave the sides of your face.
I always do.
No, you said you were growing it.
I haven't grown it. Man, where you been?
Last week you've shaved in between last Thursday and this Thursday.
Yeah, but I working so much.
But
I don't
you said
shave
that
much.
you were gonna leave it all when we first talked about it. You said you were gonna leave it all.
It started getting itchy. I couldn't get past that itchy phase where it was just starting to. And I just said, no.
Big bad Marine, man.
I just let it go.
Had a little itchy on his face.
I didn't like it.
Brad Haney says, is Kentucky done for good or just this year? Brother, I do not know.
Never count out Drew Estate.
Val Chavez says, I will do that. Might even give him a hug from you guys. Please do.
Absolutely.
I don't know. But Brad, no, we don't know whether Kentucky's coming. Maybe at Florida they announce that they're going to do Louisiana and Kentucky next year, because a lot of people
somewhere else.
A lot of people have forgotten about Louisiana, right? Because the last time they did Louisiana was in 2019. Then you had 2 years of COVID.
I love
no
Louisiana.
events.
Louisiana was awesome.
And then last year they didn't bring back Louisiana for the first time, but they brought Louisiana to every Barn Smoker,
right? Which was good.
Yeah,
which is good because Louisiana is a hard venue.
Yeah, it's my least favorite venue.
It's not a farm; it's a processing facility where they do the pre-process, and it's really neat and it's really interesting. It smells so good, but it's long and narrow. It's you got traffic issues.
Charles Adamson says he's taking this year off from the Santa beard. My beard continues to grow because, like Bob, it hides all my chins. But no, I get my hair cut the Wednesday before we go, so I'll be nice and I'll be fresh.
I think we should do a fundraiser to shave off your beard.
Whew. That would need to be a personal fundraiser in my personal pocket.
No, it's the channel. It goes to the channel.
No. There's a whole lot of ugly under this thing.
And the highest bidder would get to shave it off at a barn smoker.
Yeah, but what happens if I only raised $32 and the highest bidder was $7?
No, we'd have to have a baseline, right?
You know who would? Well, he probably wouldn't shave it at a barn smoker because he wouldn't come. But you know who would probably try to take the number one bidding spot?
Gary Brooks.
No, Steve Saka.
Oh.
You know, Steve Saka paid $500 for me to eat Carolina Reaper.
2.
3. I ended up eating 3.
Well, no, but he paid for 2. He paid $250 for one. If other people would raise $250, which they did so fast, it was ridiculous how fast they were willing to make us suffer.
We've already raised $5.25.
So
because Brad Haney's got $5 whole on it, Val Chavez has got $0.25 on it. Put a whole bunch of zeros behind that. And
I think we could raise a couple $1,000. Shave Steven's beard.
We are not discussing that right now. Maybe possibly in the future we do something like that. But it would need to be like at a time where I'm not going to be photographed with like family pictures and stuff. So like the holidays, not a good idea. Like probably the best time to do it would be like January 1st. Because
no, we'd have to do it at a barn smoker. To where they could shave your beard at the barn smoker.
No way. Charles Adamson says 5 figures or stay at home. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'll move the decimal point a couple points in, but
no way. Because you're only talking about $999.
No, $100.
No, I ain't.
100's 5 figures.
No, what I'm saying is the max, like old Nasty Nick getting the old hair shaved off. Nope. My wife enjoys the beard, and I enjoy living in a happy home.
We could double down. We could both shave.
No. Don't say.
We could both shave all the hair off our face other than our eyebrows. Be bald headed.
You don't have anything to lose.
Bald faced. I got hair up here.
No.
We'd be bald headed, bald faced.
No. I've been bald headed once. I've got enough of my bald headedness out. Rick Carroll, good night, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us. No.
We could give half of it to charity.
Now, what we could do is if my pocket's a charity. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Charity chief. If we wanted to make it fair, we would meet the right amount of number, and I shave off all of my facial hair and you get a bikini wax. Front to back. Halfway down the thighs.
Bro, why are you trying to how would we video that?
You ain't never seen the 40-year-old virgin?
No.
Oh. There's classy ways to not have to show you junk. Charles Adamson, I'm right there with you. 10 grand plus. I would happily donate that to charity or the PCA or something like that. But no, we ain't doing that. No, this is not a fleshing out conversation.
It's working.
No, it ain't.
It's working.
You think it is, but it ain't.
I can reach out to some people that'll throw some coins.
Matt Scaife, hit the like button on Facebook. Thank you, my brother. Then he turns into Bob the Cigar Guy.
Habibi would pay.
No.
Saka would pay.
I think we could raise some money. I think we would get up in. I think there are enough people out there that would love to put that misery on me that we could probably turn into the 1,000 range. I think there would be people who would pony up money just to see it happen, because they would want to see me shaved face and miserable.
It grows back.
Yeah, but it don't grow back quick.
It grows back.
I've had a beard like this for 6 years.
It's time for a change.
No. Yeah, on November 8th, I'm going to get a little bit chopped off the bottom, and I'm going to get my hair cut.
No, we're going to shave the whole thing and all on top of your head.
Oh, you guys want to see something neat? Speaking of head, got a new hat for Barn Smoker. Carhartt, hard at work. That's right. It's so brand new. I left the sticker on the outside. It's my Barn Smoker hat.
Now, you can't wear that to a barn smoker.
I'm not. That's why I have it here. I'm not going to wear it until we travel down.
Right.
So next Thursday, I'll take it home with me.
Thursday afternoon.
Val Chavez says, "Okay, at Barn Smoker, I'll up the bid to $1." Nope.
We could give half to Cigars for Warriors.
That would be where the money went.
And
for Warriors.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to Matty Rock. Matty Rock know people with deep pockets that are willing to throw change at crazy things. Yes, sir.
Ben Burns says you can shave your beards, but not mine. I'm not shaving my beard, brother.
Jay Bates, I'll talk to Jay Bates. He'll stir it up.
Jay Bates, I can't talk about it because it's not Halloween. We'll talk about it next week because he's sworn. I'll show you after the show, but I can't show it online yet. But no, we're not seriously talking about shaving my beard right now. It's not happening. And I will be compensated because it's my face.
No, it's all for the channel. Just like with the hot peppers, it was your stomach.
Oh no, this is different.
And your boop boop hole.
That was temporary pain. This is 6 months of pride.
Dude, you could go rob a bank with your beard and then shave the next day, and they never find you.
No, thank you.
Have you seen the pictures of Jason Momoa? They did his face where he didn't have a beard, and he looks almost like Steven Seagal now. And he said, "You're welcome, ladies. You can never not see this again."
That's funny. No, I have no desire to shave my beard at all.
There's a crack in the armor. There's a chink in the armor.
There's not.
See it.
There's not.
I see it, and I'm good at getting in there and just saying, "Hello."
Charles Adamson says, "High bidder gets to cut their initials into my hair." No, I'm not.
Like, you used to have patterns cut in the side of your head.
No,
you did.
I had one time where I had them put a lightning bolt, or no, they put Jackson's initials in the side of my head that was when I used to get my hair cut at the mall. That lady was so nice, and I used to have a faux hawk, and the lady found out that we had just had my son, and I'd been going to her for a couple of years, and it was going to be the last time I ever got my hair cut from her because she was retiring. And she was like, "Oh, you had your son?" She's like, "What's his name?" And I was like, "Jackson Blaze, we'll call him." And she cut a big old JB in the side of my head.
Without telling you?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. That could have went the wrong way.
I had been getting my hair cut from her for like a year and a half or so. So I had a good relationship with her. And anytime we went to the mall, we went by, stopped in and said hey to her. So it was good. It was no problem. Val says, "Chief, do it for the cause." Look, you can't guilt me into it.
What's going to happen? I've guilted him into so many things. I have. He's really a softie. He's like that grumpy guy at the door. And you knock on the door, he goes, "Go away," because if he stops and listens to you, his kindness comes out, and he goes along, and this is going to be one of those things.
I am very kind. This
is going to be one of those things.
My beard is like
I just got to figure out what I have to make happen.
Ain't happening. It's not happening.
Challenge accepted.
No, it's not. Your bikini wax is pending.
Challenge accepted.
Because if anything like that were to ever happen to me, something's happening to you. You're not getting off.
No, I
scot-free.
would be willing to shave my head and shave my
No,
beard.
because you're not losing anything. Your hair's already thin.
It is not thin.
It is thin.
Look at that hair.
Your
Look
hair's
at
thin.
this.
You can
Look
see
at
your
this
scalp.
hair. Y'all people tell me this
all the
is
way
thin.
down to the scalp.
That's not thin.
Look at the turn
That
around and show the back of your head.
That is it. My head is perfectly fine.
Show the back of your head.
I'm telling you. And I'll shave all this hair.
Oh yeah, you're gonna what? All 13 hairs across your face.
I'll shave all this hair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even shave my ears. That's half your beard right there.
No way, Jose. Because again, like I said, I got to live with my wife. Can you imagine the?
She'd love you anyway.
You imagine the torment that would cause Shepard?
He'd be all right.
You know how much he would freak out?
Just for a minute. They're resilient.
I don't need to induce childhood trauma in my kids.
They're resilient. Look, childhood trauma makes you who you are.
Okay, sure. That's why I have the problems I do have. But no, and so definitely, if you're going to the Florida Barn Smoker, you're going to see me just like this, and I will leave just like this. Tell
everybody at the Barn Smoker if you're going, hey, shouldn't Chief shave off his beard for a donation of Cigars for Warriors?
No.
Shouldn't he do that? Y'all go tell him.
No, because Drew Estate already raises a ton of money for Cigars for Warriors.
So we do our part.
No. Some of it's got to go to my pocket, man. It's got to be worth my while.
We do our part.
I am not a full-on humanitarian.
Your rewards are in heaven. Your rewards will be in heaven.
No, that ain't no jewel. That don't cause no jewel. So we
could donate your beard hair to, they got the Lock for Loves. I think they got them for dogs with alopecia. So
yeah, her name's Jada.
You can put that's Tupac.
No, it's Jada. Tupac. You can't. Tupac was a respectable. Someone.
No, they're saying that Jada said she was actually Tupac.
Oh, that's funny. Now, we will have Chief Talk next week. Chief Talk will be here next week. In 2 weeks, we will not have Chief Talk, though. That'll be the Thursday before we travel. And our flight is at 5:30 in the morning. So,
which I like.
No, I prefer. I prefer.
But not coming home Sunday and then going to work Monday.
Tom Fisher says, cheers, Bob. Cheers, Tom Fisher. That's Mr. Bourbon Blog.
All right.
Hope to see you. Are you going to be at the Florida Barn Smoker as well? Our flight back on Sunday's not bad. We get home at 2:30. So
I still got to decompress and turn around and go right back to work. Your mom's not going to be here because she's going. First Lady's going to be at the Florida Barn Smoker, but she's going to stay an extra day and hang out with some friends down there and then drive back. She don't want to fly. She's going to drive the truck.
I do. I do kind of hate that we're flying because Mac contacted me a couple weeks ago. It's like, hey, when are you guys coming down? Because there's a Drew Estate event in Jacksonville the Thursday before the Barn Smoker. So kind of hate we could have gone to that with him if we'd have driven.
How far is Jacksonville from Claremont? It's 5 hours.
We're flying on Friday though. So we're not flying on Thursday. Brad Haney says, do it for the puppies. Mm-mm. Nope. So yeah, we'll have Chief Talk next week. Regularly scheduled program, Chief Talk next week, but the following Thursday we will take a break because we're going to be traveling the next day.
Packing and trucking.
I'll probably start packing next Thursday after Chief Talk, honestly.
I would love to do a live show with Eric and Jordan down there in Florida. Like after Barn Smoke or something.
I don't know. Sammy Flow, hashtag shave the chief. Instead of save the least, that's funny. Max says, back guys, sorry Becca has friends over, so I got to get the kids to bed.
Mac, we're talking about shaving Steven's beard for Cigars for Warriors. I know you're behind that. You're backing it 100%. So
we did not agree upon that. Do not allow your Bob's brain to run amok. Hunter says he's flying back Monday morning. Don't know what to do. Don't know what I'm going to do on Sunday. Hey, in Orlando, go to Disney.
Smoke cigars.
Go to Disney. Go to downtown Disney. Texas Tourist is coming in saying hello. Charles Edmondson says, "Night Mac." I think he put the kids to bed.
Every Tuesday on Drewsy's, I've been putting them up as premieres at lunchtime when I go to lunch. And Texas Taurus has been on, and we chit chat back and forth during the premiere. It's kind of fun.
But yeah, we're not figuring out a way to shave my beard. It's not happening. I don't know how well off Enjoy It Bro is in money, but I'm sure he would definitely.
Law Ream.
No, he wouldn't do it. He's my homie. Texas Tourist says, smoke cigars, drink bourbon, and jam out to Wheeler Walker Jr. Oh, Lordy. Here he goes again with Wheeler Walker Jr.
Law Ream.
No, not happening. Because
I bet the Dead Leaf Breakfast Club would be behind it.
There'd be one or two. But I think the rest of them will have my back.
I'll shave that too.
Luckily, I don't have a hairy back. So I was not blessed with that. Tex Torres says, I need to finish my CAO V23. Nice. I just lit up actually a third cigar for the show. Smoking a Stillwell Star Aromatic, also out of the Smoke In Cigar of the Month Club for October. I just had the cigars over here on my desk. Actually, was chatting it up with Max. Says, I got your back, way back. I had a joke, but I don't want to get in trouble. It says, oh man, I love that Stillwell Aromatic #1. It is good. It's not my favorite of the Stillwells, but I do like it.
It is delicious.
I enjoy it. But yeah, Mac Kid said, when are you guys coming down? Because there's a now, Mac, is the Drew Estate event a Will event? And you missed Will McFall on the show. He wasn't on the show.
He popped off
Facebook. But is that a Will McFall event before the Barn Smoker, or is that just I guess Katie Abraham does events up, because does Will do all of Jacksonville or just some of Jacksonville? But if I'd have known that previous to us booking our flights, it is a Will event. I'd have seen, which I don't know. You're not off that day? You having to take vacation for Friday, right?
Yeah, I'm having to switch. I'm having a switch schedule. So yeah, I don't have that pre-day.
Wow.
But you could drive down with Will, and I could choose a better seat.
It's sponsored by DE and Swisher. It's for vets. Oh, nice.
That's cool. For Memorial Day or Veterans Day.
I choose to fly. I like to fly. I wish we had a direct flight because it wouldn't be that bad of a flight. But unfortunately, it's like we have direct flights from Greenville to Miami, but we don't have direct flights from Greenville to Orlando. Silly. So, but I did when booking the flights. I did make sure we had ample time in between flights.
Yes, we're not playing a Charlotte game.
We didn't miss a flight because we are going through Charlotte both ways. There,
because Steven takes forever to get off a dang plane.
Oh, here we go. But with that, I think we're gonna end the show. I know Texas Tourist, you just jumped back in. Mac Burks, and you just popped in. But we are here at an hour and a half on the show, and Bob Cigar is over there rubbing his eyes, crying. He's tired of it.
Yawning.
Charles says, Smoking is treating us well. I placed a small order to use my $10 reward. Got another $15 reward credit a few hours later.
Fantastic.
Nice. So thank you to those who did take part in that. The gifts, the rewards, the winnings have gone out in the mail. Text Source says, all good, gents. Mac Burkson says, have a great week, everybody. Val says, time to shave, getting off the plane. Sam Flo says, in better news, First Lady can drive Bob's lighters back.
Don't you know? She's bringing my tripod, too. Because I want to do a video in the chair with the Barber and Cigar Company.
Yeah, I'm not taking my tripod. So I might just borrow yours. if I need it.
No.
Hunter Out says, never got an Uber before. Going to have to figure that out. When we went last year to one of the barn smokers, we had to get an Uber on the way back home.
Sucked.
It wasn't bad.
Oh no, it stunk. Cigars, her cigarettes were in the ashtray, and the ashes were all over. It was so full. It stunk like weed in that car. It was the nastiest car. Wouldn't even let us get in the trunk because they had stuff in the trunk. So Steven had to sit in the back seat with all the luggage. It was awful.
The process of ordering the Uber was not bad.
Mac, I love you. Truth.
Val Chavez says, shave, Chief, shave. No way. I'll shave right up here. Right there, and then right in here. My unibrow goes like crazy. But yeah, we will have Chief Talk next week. We will not have Chief Talk in 2 weeks. So with that, make sure you go check out Cigar.com. When you check out, use code Chief Talk, all one word and in capitals. And when you check out, use that code to get 15% off your entire order. Thank you to Drew State for sponsoring Chief Talk alongside Cigar and Quality Importers. And we will see you next week.
Time to relax. Whew. Man, I'm beat. Whew. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye. Go. Go. Go.